What up, everybody? It's me, the person who is going to be talking to you about my custom Five Nights at Freddy's pop figures. Now, I made these myself. I used the DIY, that's what they're called, DIY pop figures, where you can custom with paint, molding clay, etc. And I decided to get 5 of these and create the Five Nights at Freddy's cast, since there's no Five Nights at Freddy's pop figures yet. And I thought it would be really cool, and I'll go for each of them one by one. And as you can see, I got the full Five Nights at Freddy's 1 cast. I got Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and Golden Freddy. And let's go through each of them one by one, starting with you. Okay, so first up we have Freddy Fazbear, who was the last one I did. Yeah, I'm not going in order, I'm just going as the order as the characters, but as you can see, he's a very cute teddy bear. But he's made out of plastic, so it's a very thick plastic too. As you can see from the top of his head, I made his little hat, little top hat. I had to repaint it because some of the paint came off. It wasn't that great. It wasn't that great quality of paint, but I had to work for what I had to work with. I can't talk. I had to work with what I had, and to make the hat I used air dry molding clay. Same thing for his ears and the muzzle and his little honky nose. Beep beep. So yeah, his eyes are painted black. His really big eyes. His muzzle, I give him those little dots on his muzzle. And I painted on his bow tie and buttons. And if you can tell, his muzzle and a little bit of the inside of the ears and his chest and stomach area are all this lighter brown. And you know, on the back there's really nothing. Yes, he has the human ears, which may look a bit weird, but if you really look at it, if you just really look at it for what it is, it's not that bad. And yes, all the figures have these things, but I wish I kind of could have sanded them down, but I don't have a sander, so whatever. And on the bottom of the legs, we just have that normal stuff, and his bottom of his feet is white. I didn't paint that, but I put the little these little lines on his feet to make it look like he has toes. But yeah, for Freddy, he fell apart, and I had to put him back together when I was done making him the first time. So, and that was my fault because I didn't use enough glue. But crazy glue is pretty good, so I used that instead. And it works really well. But that's Freddy for you, and let's move on to the next one. Alright, now here is Bonnie. And Bonnie is, I think, one of the better ones I've made. Yes, there are some lighter parts that are on his head and his body. But I still think it looks good because it looks like how he does in the game. You know, the colors were kind of all like dirty almost, and I think it looks good. His eyes are black, just like Freddy's. His muzzle and his chest, which you can't see there, and his toes and tail are this lighter, like baby blue. Oh, and also the inside of the ears. The ears, as you can see, some paint chipped off. I really don't know why, but and I gave him a little gray nose. As you can see, the bow tie is clay, and I just glued it on there. Now, the reason why it's painted is because in the game he only has the bow tie in the first game. So I just said, hey, why not give him like a bigger bow tie so it makes him more distinct than Freddy does. But I still think Bonnie's good. He was meant to have bigger ears, but it just did not look good. I mean, it looked awful. It looked very top heavy, and he would just fall. So. Yeah, and this thing to be even more, I only gave Bonnie, since he's a bunny and bunnies have, you know, really long feet, I decided to give him some really big feet because he's a rabbit. But yeah, that's Bonnie, and I knocked Freddy over, and I still think he's still a good one. But let's move on to the next one. All right, so here we have Chica. Chica is. I had to redo Chica. I'm not kidding, I had to redo her. The first one I did, It looked awful. It had paint bleeds. It was not good, and I think it's because some colors got mixed. I don't know. It just did not look like this, and the eyes were just big. I mean, they were like huge, and they just did not look good. But I redid it, and I think it looks good. It looks way better in my opinion. As you see, I gave her a little the feathers on top of her into that little light hairstyle she has. I gave her little eyelashes on her eyes. I gave her this little orange beak to make it more popified, you know, like how the other pop figures do. Yeah, she has the ears, and I know that Chica does not have ears in the game, but, you know, what are you going to do? You know, if you really look at it from certain angles, it doesn't look that bad. Her bib, I did not put in the words "let's eat," and the reason why is that I just don't have the talent to do so. The "let's eat" is almost impossible for me. I tried it with markers, I tried it with pencil, and I've tried it with paint. It just splatters all over, and it gets all over the figure, and it does not look good. I left it white because, well, I kind of think it looks better, and it makes it more pop, I believe. I think it looks nice. Yeah, I gave her orange up to her shins. She has orange legs and feet, and yeah, that's Chica for you. And I still think she looks great. She's still, you know, she's one of my favorites. So love Chica. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, here is Foxy the Pirate. Now, Foxy was the first one I did, and I decided to make him look the most different out of them all. Is because, well, he's much dirtier than the rest. As you can see, he looks darker in some areas, and I thought that would it would look better because he was make him look more withered and dirty. As you see, his chest has that giant crack, just like it does in the game. He has a very crooked muzzle, his little black nose, and for the hook, I just put a little block of clay, and I took a paper clip and bent it to look like a hook. It is loose, but it doesn't. You can't really yank it out, so I just leave it like that because it's locked into place. And I gave him his little shorts, and I made his legs, hand, this gray color, because in the game he had no real legs or hand because they were like missing, they were chopped off almost, and you could only see his endoskeleton, so I tried to replicate that, and I think I did very well. Another thing I should mention is that all the pop figures do have articulation, and they can move at the head like this. And that's it. But still, Foxy is a really cool character, and I think I did really well with him. Plus, his little head pieces here, these little pieces of fur, cover these pop ears, and I think they look really good. Another thing I should mention is that these ears look very different than the others, like, because they're just, you can tell that they're just blotches of clay just glued there. And that was because he was falling apart, so I had to fix it quick. But there's Foxy. And let's move on to the final figure. Alright, here's Golden Freddy. Now, Golden Freddy, oddly enough, Golden Freddy, I think that he's probably the better looking one out of them all, next to Chica and Bonnie. Because, well, let's see, he's all just one basic color, and there's no really, you can't really tell unless you're really holding it in hand. My camera's not doing it justice, but he's a very darker yellow than Chica, and his eyes and his nose are this brownish black color, and I thought that looked really good for Golden Freddy. Made it look more distinct than Freddy does, because I know these two are basically the same. I gave him smaller ears almost, and I gave him a blue hat with the blue bow tie and buttons, because in the first game he has like a certain bluish tint to it. And yeah, he's pretty much the same thing as Freddy, except he's just different colors. And if you notice, his nose is bigger than Freddy's, and he has the little dots on his muzzle because I just didn't have the time to put it on. But yeah, here they are, all together. and I believe that these are the best figures I've ever done. So I hope you like these customs, and I will see you guys later. Peace out.